Here comes new Kirblog, whoa. Hello, yes, Pokemon and other things video game related. This will be on Saturday afternoon, so I suppose I may have to put this out earlier in the morning. Yeah, you know what? I think I probably will put this out earlier in the morning just because I want people to actually see it and not be too busy watching the fucking EA conference by this time. But nonetheless, so yeah, E3 is going on over the next couple days. But yeah, I wanted to throw in my 2 cents. But before that, just the usual order of business. What am I watching lately? Last weekend, I saw the first episode of FLCL Progressive. I want to save my full judgment until the show is completed, and then maybe I'll do like a whole Kirblog on both progressive and alternative. But I will say, so far, pretty intrigued. I'm actually a little aggravated that like fight scene just kind of came out and was released by itself without any kind of context or whatever, and pissed everybody off. That was kind of a bummer because I feel like that already painted a bad picture in people's minds, because it's just here's some random fight in the middle of the show, I guess, that isn't in the first episode, and the animation is not nearly as good or the same as the original show, and then people were already making their sweeping judgments on it. But I will say, that aside, that's why I'm a little annoyed that happened, because I liked the first episode a lot so far. I'm kind of interested to see where this, I guess, this point that they're making with this character is going. The girl with the headphones is a very different kind of character than Naota. And it's funny because I despite my best efforts and my superpower of recognizing people, people's voices, I did not immediately recognize that Kari Wahlgren was the teacher until a little bit later, by the end of the episode, where she's making the change into this character who I guess is not actually Haruko. Shrug. But yeah, I like Ide and his friends, and it's actually a lot cartoonier than I was expecting it to be. Certainly not nearly as as the original show, but it's got a little bit more of a sense of fun to it than I went in expecting, because I thought it was going to be a little bit more. But then again, I mean, this is just the first episode. Jinyu is certainly a big departure, because she's very, very contemporary anime. But she's pretty cool so far. Allegra Clark did a good job on her. Yeah, so curious, going to keep watching that. I also, just real quick, I saw an episode of the new Lemony Snicket's series of unfortunate events. Just kind of at random, Amy was watching an episode. She's been going through it, and I was like, yeah, I'll sit down and watch this one. And it's pretty cool. I don't know anything about this the books or whatever. I never saw the movie version with Jim Carrey or whatever. Mostly I was very surprised by the casting, because I was hearing Patrick Warburton's voice, and I'm like, oh, who's he? Oh, he's Lemony Snicket. Oh, wow. And I knew about Neil Patrick Harris being Count Olaf in this version, and seems like they've got some quite a number of good actors in this. Also, just by chance, I happened to catch an episode that had Gabe Coote in it. I haven't told Casey about this yet. That was pretty funny. I'm just oh, I guess they must have filmed this in Vancouver, probably. So it's funny to see him as just this guy who kind of pops into a store. I don't know if he's in more episodes or whatever. It's hey, it's Gabe Coote. That's funny. Anyway, but yeah, okay. So that's what I've been seeing lately. Otherwise, nothing else new. Slowly catching up to where One Piece is in Japan. Nearly caught up with the most recent episodes. That's about all I've been watching in terms of new stuff. Okay, so haven't been playing anything new lately, but so video game related. Okay, E3 predictions. So probably to no surprise to people who have followed my, thoughts and predictions or whatever about each of these things, no fucking idea what to expect for EA or Microsoft or Bethesda, or Ubisoft either, to be honest. Their conferences are just, I kind of watch them and I was like, oh, that was neat, cool, whatever. And then that's about it. And usually I just forget whatever it is. I guess whether or not it's going to be here's a bunch of brown, realistic-looking games that all feel the same to me and I have no investment into whatsoever, then I guess that makes for at least an entertaining presentation. But I don't want to shoot down whether or not those games will actually be good. I have no idea. And maybe there will be a new Assassin's Creed announced in there. I have no idea. I'm in it mainly for Sony and Square Enix and Nintendo. Speaking of Square Enix, sadly, I might have to miss it in the morning. oh, woe is me, first world problems. I may be, having actually a couple of voiceover sessions in the morning on Monday. So unfortunately, I'm probably going to have to miss the Square Enix one, which is a bummer because I didn't realize, I just hadn't even thought about this, but I guess, all the other Square Enix related stuff has just been through the Sony conferences in recent years, because Square hasn't done, I guess, their own specific press conference since 2015 by now. But so I'm sad that I might not get to see it like as it plays out. I'm going to see if maybe I can bring something with me that'll allow me to, watch it like just while I'm there. Kingdom Hearts 3, I'm hoping that I know that they're going to be showing more. I hope that we will get a release date. Mike Lucas has his bets on it being delayed. I really hope it's not. I really hope it's just like end of this year, holiday 2018, if humanly possible. I hear news that there might be like a new Tomb Raider, I guess, or I don't know if they've talked about this or whatever at some points, but I know a lot of folks are excited about that. I didn't even know until like recent years that Tomb Raider was a Square Enix published game. I don't know if it always was, but that was kind of interesting to see. Hopefully something maybe about Final Fantasy VII Remake. I remember, what was it, something about like there were like some new like jobs opening up, which was making people think that like, oh, maybe are they like revamping it, or is something troubling with it or whatever. I just hope at this point it doesn't get canceled or whatever. I don't know if they like kind of spoke too soon in terms of announcing it. Like, I don't know if it was I don't even remember if it was last year or the year before or whatever. Fuck it. But yeah, I mean, maybe we'll get something about that in the Square one. That would be nice. Sony, let's see. Last of Us 2 and Death Stranding will be cool movies to watch, or maybe I'll actually play them because I have access to PlayStations now. Last of Us I haven't actually played, but I watched a full playthrough of it and really enjoyed the story a lot, so I am interested in the sequel of that. I still don't know anything about Death Stranding at all. It's funny, when I was in Vegas, I saw I think it was a Walking Dead slot machine that had Norman Reedus on it, and all I could think of was him naked clutching a baby in a weird shoreline or something, and I'm just like, oh yeah, Death Stranding, that thing. We'll see what happens with that. Good for Kojima. Hope that happens for him. This one is always full of surprises. I don't know what exactly to expect, but I guess it is more exciting because I'll be able to potentially play some of these games now because I haven't had a PS4 in my home until this past year or so. So that's nice. God, what else? Maybe we'll get announcements of a new game by the Eco Trilogy guy or something. I don't know. That would be neat. I don't know if that's even been remotely teased or in the cards. Maybe that'll be like the big surprise, because it's been a long time since Last Guardian anyway, so that would be kind of cool. Last but certainly not least, Nintendo. The obvious one, of course, we've got the, probably more news on Let's Go, Pikachu and Eevee. Would like to see more about them, maybe get some other questions answered, even though I guess they've been answering a lot of questions about it, and also the supposed Gen 8 game in like other interviews that have been happening, around, with the Pokemon Company or whatever. But interested to see more of that, hopefully. I have a feeling we'll probably get like a new Fire Emblem game of some kind. I wouldn't be surprised. Actually, circling back to PlayStation, maybe there'll be like a new Tales game. It's been like long enough since Berseria came out that I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. Let's see. I think Octopath Traveler is going to be out like pretty soon. I don't know if they'll have like. I guess by that point they'll have more to show for that on the Switch. I think I also heard that apparently there will not be any 3DS stuff they're going to be talking about at this one. It's just going to be all Switch stuff, which that's a bummer. But I'm like, okay, that's fine. I guess Switch, hooray. Hope maybe we'll get a release date for the King of Cards Shovel Knights DLC pack, because I want that shit like yesterday. I don't know what the holdup with that was, but good luck to the Yacht Club guys. I'm real excited to play that. What else? Probably no new Mario or Zelda stuff for a good while. Although, of course, Smash is the big thing. I will be watching the Smash Invitational, which I guess is, I think that's happening it's happening Monday afternoon before the day of the, and actually that's the other thing, is unfortunately Tuesday morning, I might also have to miss the goddamn Nintendo conference because, I also may be having to work on something actually that is kind of a big deal if that happens. So I really shouldn't complain too hard, but I may have to miss the one that I look forward to the most, unfortunately. So I have to probably watch the archive of that and, try to keep up with the Treehouse as best as I can. It's funny now that I'm remembering, like, the Treehouse stream alone is just such a, like, investment of time because it's, like, constantly ongoing. So I'm hoping that even if I miss the initial, Nintendo Direct about all the new stuff and everything, it won't be super difficult for me to even catch up with everything in the first place. Hence why, again, I'm taking a break from streaming for all of next week because, I'm sure I'll be busy watching stuff. I'm going to keep trying to work in the meantime. But, I know nobody will be watching anything else but E3, so what's the point of streaming during that time? Yeah, I'm sure probably people are, I guess, saving this for last or whatever. I'm sure people are probably expecting me to predict something specific about the new Smash Brothers. I don't really have any predictions. I still think it's probably going to be more of just a port of... In fact, actually, even the fact that they're doing the Invitational before the actual presentation... I have a feeling, to me, it still seems like it's more likely going to just be, like an updated port of the Wii U and 3DS version, as opposed to like flat out being Smash 5. That's personally what I think. But although that said, I'm sure like either during the Invitational or perhaps like more info during the Direct or whatever. Maybe they'll reveal another character or two or whatever other than the Inklings. If we get another one, I think it'll probably be something really safe, like I don't know, like Spring Man from ARMS or something like that, which is fine. I don't have any gigantic hopes and dreams and aspirations for any obviously I always still have my it would be cool if Crash Bandicoot or Geno or whatever, but I'm just like I don't actually hold on to real hope for that because I think it's far more out of our actual control than anyone ever seems to think it is. But that's pretty much everything that I have to think of ahead. I know that's not much in terms of predictions, but a lot of it is very much just like let's see what's on docket this year. I don't know because fuck shrug whatever. So we'll see. But I am looking forward to checking everything out. It's always good time, a lot of fun to see all that stuff. So, and then I guess just real quick, working on lately, as some of you guys saw, I had some time to squeeze in a couple streams. This week I got about 10 characters done in this batch of the Chapter 4, the last batch of the backer fully animated enemy characters for the Tome RPG project that I have to work on. With the pace I'm going, I should be able to get plenty more of them done within the month. The week after E3, I'm going to get right back to animating again as quickly as I possibly can. And if actually, speaking of which, so if I don't have to work on Tuesday, depending on if possibly some things fall through, I don't know yet. I will do on that day a real quick E3 reactions, Kirblog, just because I usually try to do that as quickly as possible after all the stuff is over. So if I can do that, I will try. But otherwise, I'll probably push it until the weekend, after there's more stuff to be talked about from, the Treehouse streams and the other coverage that all these people do and everything, like Jeff Keighley and all that shit. But yeah, I'm going to continue to be working and animating and doing some other behind-the-scenes stuff. Other things, I'm recording this. I'm recording this as right now. Time travel. What else is new? On Friday, right before I leave to do my last session on a new anime project that I was working on recently. Maybe you guys have some idea of what it may or may not be, but I don't think there will be probably too long of a wait for it. But it's a thing that I'm working on that I've had a lot of fun with. Very interesting, kind of different approach this time. When it comes out, I'll actually have a Kirblog about working on it, to give some, because there's some interesting stories about just doing it and everything. But nonetheless, yeah. So I've been doing that, and I've got some more. Actually, I booked a new anime thing next week that I'll be doing probably Monday morning. So I've got that to take care of. And so and also a little quick note just to put this out here. I will be going to Anime Expo this year. I think I'm going to be on the Sailor Moon panel, and I'll probably just be hanging around and doing some other stuff. I'm going to see if I can jam my way into that My Hero Academia movie screening if possible. But yeah. So that's about it. And now, last but not least, thank you, everybody, for actually giving proper questions this time in the comment section. I got a question from HazzaBozza. Any tips to stay concentrated on projects and not getting distracted? Quite ironic, as I'm about to be extremely distracted for a solid week while E3 is going on. That said, I often work with background noise very often, as you guys are, attuned to by now from, checking out my streams. Most often when I'm streaming, I like to listen to just OSTs. That's what I've been kind of going through. Speaking of Smash Brothers, you guys might have noticed I've been going through all of the Nintendo main series of game OSTs. I've gone through Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong, Kirby, Star Fox now just most recently, and now I'm into Pokemon. So the music has been a big thing. And then also for many years now, the last 10 years since I've been animating, podcasts, very, very often are my main thing for listening to. And, in terms of staying concentrated, it's funny because I remember one of the greatest animators in history, Richard Williams. He created the Animator Survival Kit book and series of DVDs, which I highly recommend to anybody out there who wants to do animation, especially traditional 2D stuff. He talked about, I think he had a joke in there from when he was learning from one of the great master animators before him. I forget which one, of oh, don't you listen to music while you're working? No, I have to concentrate or whatever. And I don't agree with that. I absolutely need something to listen to in the background while I'm working. Because it actually keeps me from being distracted. And actually, the really nice thing that I have, kind of in a way, you guys to thank, is it's thanks to streaming that I really do not get distracted. Because while I have eyes on me, I'm absolutely making sure that I am working every single fucking time. And I once in a while I'll go check Twitter or something, or my email or a message or whatever, or if I get a phone call, rarely. But generally I am full on focus during that time, and it's extremely helpful. So actually, I in a way, I kind of have all of you guys listening and watching to thank for me being so productive, especially since this year started with all the animation that I've had to do. And there's plenty more where that came from, because like I said, when I finish all these guys, I've got hundreds more of these NPCs to do. So that's it. That'll be the one question I answer this week. And by the way, I'll say this, don't feel bad about if you want to, repeat questions you might have commented on the last video or whatever, if you want to try to get yours in. If you have any questions you'd like me to answer in the mailbag segment of, the next Kirblog I do, let me know, and mayhaps I'll do that. So thank you to HazzaBozza for this one. That's going to do it. So everybody, please enjoy the E3. Well, not please, but I hope we all enjoy the E3 conferences happening over the next few days or so. I hope I certainly do. Like I said, we'll be taking a break from animation streaming. On that note, for probably a good week or so. Maybe I'll get back to it late next week. We'll see. But that's going to do it for now. And, let's see if any of my predictions are correct. Leave some of your E3 predictions in the comments as well, if you've got any. And I'll see you either on Tuesday or next weekend, next Saturday, for my feedback, depending on how time permits and everything. So thanks for listening. I'll catch y'all later, and have a good time. Bye.